Thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank Majority Leader Stewart Cousins. I want to thank Senator Scarcella-Stanton, the sponsor of this resolution today. I certainly want to thank Senator Walczyk, who is not here today, but as has been mentioned several times, is currently deployed, is extremely proud, as we all are, of our districts. As I know Senator Skoufis is of West Point, Senator Walczyk is equally proud of representing Fort Drum and all that it means, not only to the North Country, not only to New York State, but to the United States of America, and I would argue the globe. The 10th Mountain Division has probably done more to protect free peoples and protect the interests of the United States than most. And I certainly want to thank Brigadier General Bremen for his leadership, for being here today, for his kind words. I also want to recognize Sergeant Major Mobar, because, of course, as we all know, any officer in the United States military knows when you're on post, when you're in cantonment at the barracks, it is the Sergeant Major who is they are running the show there, and I'm sure Brigadier General Bremen would not mind me saying so. In fact, I'm sure he would agree. But I want to thank both of them for their leadership and everyone who helped make this day possible and who showed up. Fort Drum is important. It's important economically to the North Country. The economic impact is really, you can't really overstate the economic impact in just dollars alone to the North Country, to New York State. And that's true for a lot of military installations. Having been to several, if those installations were gone, the surrounding area would really kind of dry up pretty quickly or be negatively impacted. A lot of members of the 10th Mountain, when they leave their service, when they separate from service, a lot of them stay in New York and become part of our communities, whether it's in the North Country, whether it's downstate, whether it's in Western New York. But it's broader than that. The 10th Mountain Division is the most deployed division since 9/11. When you think of the United States global war on terror, when you think of the two conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan, when you think of all of our foreign policy challenges since September 11th, 2001, it is the 10th Mountain Division that has been front and center in all of that. And it will be the 10th Mountain Division who will be front and center going forward. If you look at the faces here who just came back from deployment, these are young people. I always say the irony of who fights America's wars, it is not middle-aged folks, it is not older men and women, it is young men and women. Most people that we would call interns or young staffers in this building. Those are the people leading platoons. Those are the individuals leading squads under fire in combat with the 10th Mountain on their arm. And so we should be proud that this division, a story unit in every major conflict in the United States, they call New York home. They call this state their home, and that is why we are proud to recognize you, your service, your sacrifice, but it's why we are proud to recognize that Fort Drum is a New York installation, and we want to keep it that way for the foreseeable future. So I certainly want to thank all of you for your service. I want to thank you for being here. Brigadier General Bremen, I know, is off, as the leader said, to the Pentagon. So mix of congratulations, condolences, but congratulations on the promotion. That is almost an equally as dangerous deployment, I'm sure he would agree, as somewhere overseas. So be careful, Brigadier General. I'm sure you will. And I'm sure, and I know, the 10th Mountain and Fort Drum will be in good hands going forward. And again, we look forward to having you here next year. And I look forward, even though I was there several times, I never got a bird's eye view. I was usually in the woods or out in the field, and I was miserable and I wanted to go home. But I'm looking forward to going back in a different kind of way, and I would love to get the Senator Scarcella-Stanton tour, as it were, when I return. So thank you again for your service, Mr. President. Thank you for your indulgence.